What's up, guys? Hold on, let me get this other computer turned off. Trying to still get this all figured out. Here we go. Black Seed, you're freaking killing me. Oh, man. I'm going to crack us a cold one here. Miller Lite, best beer ever made, hands down. But one thing I've noticed about the Sweet Patina super fancy koozie, magnetic koozie, sticks to stuff, is you need to put your beer in before you open it, because it is a little tough because it keeps all that coldness and freshness inside your beer. Sweet Patina magnetic koozie. Buy one right now. Here we go. Let's get this thing started. Woo! Here we go. All right, guys, I'm excited about tonight. It's going to be a good night. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a few things to go over, and then we have a few guests that are going to come in. It's going to be great. Usually we have been dropping some the link later on in and letting some folks jump in, but we changed it up a little bit tonight. I've been trying to get with Chase from GearHead Tour and Paul from Enginuity for a little while. Paul, if you don't know, is super cool. His videography is great and does it all on a phone. So that's exciting. I want to hear some of his challenges and some of his rewards. Obviously, I want to see how he edits his videos. But then what's up stuff with Cletus? And then I want to also see kind of what his future plans are. We're going to talk cars. We're going to talk projects with Chase. And I think Chase even said Paul Rainey is going to come in. Yes, Lefty Two Guns. Everybody, scissor kick, whoosh, pow! The like button for me down there. It helps early on to show it to more people. Paul, I see you down there in the bottom. We're going to pop you up so you can wave at everybody. Early on to show it to more people. Pop you back down. Wait, give everybody a wave. Howdy, folks. All right, so he'll be in just a minute. I'm going to run through my updates for the first part here. And then we're just going to get right into being there with him. So Drag and Drive 2021 is our overnight. Think of drag weekend, right? Rocky Mountain Race weekend type deal. Friday night racing at Mocan. You drive your car 200 miles. Saturday racing at Mocan. Black Seed Originals, thank you for the super chat. I will explain super chats right now. That's a great segue. Every dollar donated tonight for the super chat is going to Steven's new baby boy. Whoop, whoop. We're so excited. We are all girls until this boy. So every bit of this will buy diapers. We're doing their baby shower tomorrow at like 2 o'clock, I think. So any money raised during this I'll go buy diapers in the morning. So help us out, help him out, get us some diapers. Every little bit helps. If y'all have bought diapers, you know what that's like. Excuse me. Burping up some of that great Miller Lite Pilsner. All right. Drag and Drive. I'm taking the old truck. We're taking the cart. GearHead Tour guys are coming in. What's up, Johnny Clyde? GearHead Tour guys are coming from Kentucky. So I have to have the cart finished if they're going to be here. I have to get the Chase. I see you down there. Why don't you give everybody a wave there for us? Yeah. So I've got to get the cart done for those guys because they can't come here and then drive a rental during the Drag and Drive event. That would be boring. So we're going to put them in the new turbocharged cart, and we're going to have some fun with them. I'm excited for them. There's a lot of Central States YouTubers that are Cartubers that are going to come, and so should be a ton of content from the event. So if you are in the area, Mocan Dragway, April 2nd, Friday night, we will. Oh, Johnny Clyde said he set a premiere same time as the live show. Sorry, dude. Friday night we're gonna race. We're gonna race till the track closes. Sleep In of Joplin is hosting us. Special rate. Just mentioned the Drag and Drive 2021. Let and make a note here. Drag and drive 2021. Sleep in Joppa. It's where a bunch of the folks are going to stay. We're going to drive down south through Oklahoma, Arkansas, and then back up through Missouri. So we'll hit Kansas for about 10 miles. So you'll get 4 states right there on the drive. 200 miles, race again Saturday night. We're raising all the money for the Northwest Arkansas Children's Shelter. So we're going to have a ton of fun. Hey, what's up, Little Boy Customs? I was watching some of your stuff yesterday. All right. Talked about the baby shower, how every dollar donated buys diapers tomorrow. NarxKart, if you were watching last week, I explained how we're not doing any videos until the project is done, and then I'll roll them out. So that's becoming harder and harder for me, which means I have to fill the gap with older videos. So I'm editing a 10-minute turbo LS hot side build from the old truck. So that should drop Tuesday night. We had a couple, I think the last 5 videos I've dropped is about channel growth because I was holding back all the brainstorm sessions. If you haven't done it yet, go follow Destroyer 1320. He's in here in the feed somewhere. He leads the charge on us growing our channels, tons of ideas, all that kind of stuff. Little Boy Customs, I'm ready for NarxKart videos too. I've edited part 1, which is the hot side build. I'm still working on part 2, which is the oil feed and all the struggles that come along with that, and then the cold side. And then part 3 will be the dyno and burnouts. What's up, Dan's Garage? Preston Springer, how are you, sir? I'm going to try and pop back and forth and say hey to everybody. I have here in my notes, literally, if everybody, like I said, last 5 videos have been about channel growth and that type of video. I said, hang tight. Regularly scheduled programming is coming. We will be back to car stuff next week for a while. And then if you haven't done it, again, follow Destroyer 1320. We're going to Cletus and Cars, Indy. I don't know if you've seen this yet, but I have a mullet going on. So if you have been around for a while, you'll know we had mullets going into Rocky Mountain Race Week 2.0. And so if you're going to go hang out with Cletus, you got to have the mullet. I had not cut my hair in like 4 months. So, you know, mullet time. We have 2 months. What's up, 815? We have 2 months until then. So it should be really good. Dustin, my co-pilot for Rocky Mountain Race Week, is going with me. And his mullet is majestic. He's a ginger. His hair is as red as my beard. And it's big, flowy, mullet ties. All right. Let's see. I'm looking for, hey, Destroyer, thanks, dude. I'm looking for ideas for TikTok editors to edit, you know, up and down for your screens. I had used Adobe Premiere Rush for a while, but it's $20 a month. I have a system I like better on my laptop, which I was also using to edit my videos. But it was nice because you could fully edit a video in whatever you would call that, up and down. I don't know. So I'm looking for, if anybody else is big on TikTok stuff, Baby Ricardo is going to be a thing. We're going to put that on shirts. Hannah Marshall, hi. I think it's the first time you've been in the chat, so thanks. Appreciate that. Black Seed, I just saw Pube Fro. Dude, like, you're killing me here. All right. Where was I at? Sorry, I'm all over the place here. TikTok editors. I need some kind of video format that I can edit that in, because I will be putting more shorts together for videos in the shop. While we're out here, I can record those, but I need a way to chop them up a little better. So we definitely, I'm on the lookout for that. So y'all make comments. I'll read them later if I can. I see a comment there from Stuff with Cletus about stickers and decals. Tons coming. I've got 2 shirts. I've got a shirt from Swaps and stuff coming. I've got a shirt from, the initials are AIM. So I don't know. It's in Louisville, Texas. And then I've got a bunch of decals coming from a ton of different Instagram folks and YouTubers. But I wanted to run through my extra stuff and give you guys the idea of what I'm going to do. So on the inside of the bed, right behind the cab, I'm going to label everybody's, or I'm going to put all of these stickers, and I'm going to sticker bomb. This is my one from this week. How cool is that? I really like that look. We got this one, Left 4 Dead. I even wrote a note on the back. Isn't that cool? And then Twisted Iron. Sent this in the last round. We got stuff with Cletus. If you aren't on our Instagram, you need to, because I have a video the other day of what the garage fridge or shop fridge 815 LSX swaps, patina pit stop, the old Fowler speed guys, Failer speed. And then this one's my favorite because I'm a gasser guy, right? Burnouts and ice cream. That's literally the whole reason I built the old truck was burnouts and ice cream. So Nappy Murder. How are you, sir? First time I've seen you in here. What's up, half fast? Hey, swaps and stuff. You came in right at the perfect time. Okay. The biggest thing of the week has been hashtag solo B-roll 2021. It is a 90-second video limit telling a story with very little words. So you have to, I don't know, you have to be thinking of, in my opinion, be thinking of the shots and the video before you can shoot it, right? So it's all what would be B-roll type coverage. So if you're in the shop, you working, but not talking to the camera, which is hard for a lot of us. Plus, you can only do it with one camera. So if you work on, if you shoot with your phone and a GoPro, you've got to decide and shoot it that way. This challenge, I found it through Straight 6 Fan. I'm going to put their name down here because he spells it differently. Straight 6 Fan. And then spelled that wrong. Old Car Guy. Boost Rodeo. And Craving Cars. They're the 4 people kind of spearheading this. And what the hell? I don't know what all that says. Trodeo? Hang on. Boost Rodeo. There we go. I was typing too fast. And Craving Cars. There we go. Old Car Guy and Straight 6 Fan. So they host a weekly live feed. It's good. I was on it one night. They were talking about this solo B-roll challenge, and it really was a big challenge. I had actually shot a little bit of footage for it and was bringing in some old footage, and I completely scrapped the project and completely reshot it. So Trodeo is a club down in Dallas. Yeah, it's for men's men is what Brian Late says here at Black Seed. So, all right, let's run through that real quick. So I have that. I have it teed up. I'm going to show you guys mine, but I want to shout out to the channels that I found that participated in it. You have to have it turned in by midnight your time, March 7th. No later. That's the upload time. You have to do it by then. All you have to do to enter, 90-second video. Well, go find Straight 6 Fan's video. He explains it great, but it's 90 seconds. And in the title, it's hashtag solo B-roll 2021. That's how they'll find it. It'll be easy. So Eford's Garage participated, Magna Machine Works, Bad Tree Productions, stuff with Cletus Automotive, My Legacy Garage, Real World Garage, Roy Marco's Garage, Enginuity, which his is awesome, Half Fast Garage, 815 LSX Swaps, and Dan's Garage, North Carolina, or NC, whatever that stands for. I assume North Carolina. Those are the guys that I could find. If you participated in it, drop your link down in the description later. Old Car Guy is on here. Woo-hoo! We're just talking about the solo B-roll deal. So I'm going to show you guys it right now. I hope you're ready for this. I really spent some time on it. The editing part of this was probably the hardest part. Here we go. All right.
Well, leave me alone.
Oh, righty. So what'd you think? That was a ton of fun. Let's get these guys on here. Paul, you ready? Nope, he's not ready yet. He's shaking his head. Okay, now he's giving us a thumbs up. He got his poop stance going on. He's ready. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Perfect. Sorry, I got to get repositioned back on my stool here. We're fixing to set up a whole area to do these live feeds in the shop with cool backgrounds and all that kind of stuff. So, can everybody hear everybody?
Yeah, I've got you.
Gotcha.
All right, I need to turn my side up then, because I can barely hear you guys, and that's not good. All right, so I don't have a ton of stuff for you guys. I'm excited that you guys are here, though. Lots of YouTube interest in these three, or y'all's two channels for sure. I've forced my channel down people's throats, so I don't know if there's any interest in it or not, but we're trying. So, all right, so Paul, why don't you start us off and kind of tell us the channel name? Obviously, is Enginuity, and then
Yes.
Why did you start recording for YouTube?
Well, it's Enginuity, as you said. It's purposefully spelled wrong. I get that question a lot. I thought it would be more clear, but yeah, engines and then Ingenuity and origin.
I dig it big time.
I started YouTube because I heard it was like super easy and you could be a millionaire in like just a couple days. It sounded super easy, so I was like, you know what, I'm doing this. No. Yeah, I was getting some interest from some friends. They were like, you should be, you're doing some like weird, wacky stuff. You should be recording it. And then I thought it'd be kind of cool just to have like a documented record for my kids of like, how I'm always like got fucked up hands. Here's why. Like,
yep. What I always tell my kids is I'm like, yeah, I was like, I want to be able to say to my grandkids, look what Pawpaw did. And they actually believe me. Some coke jumping story,
Hey, my dad's always like, "Oh, I did this." I'm like, "Prove it, dude. You got no pictures."
Yep, exactly right.
Picture it didn't happen.
Exactly.
Yep. It's funny. We were going through my dad's stuff, and I ended up with a box of just random pictures. And he had always talked about this '67 Camaro that he had. Blah 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 blah. All this, We found a picture of it. I was like, okay, it was legit.
There you go. There you go.
All right. Getting this other computer shut down so it doesn't keep. I'm getting some weird glitchy stuff on my side, so I'm hoping it's not for everybody else. Chase, tell us a little bit about you, and then I really want to get into stuff in a minute about how you guys gathered your team. So I think that'll be a great segue for folks that are starting YouTube and growing their YouTube.
Yeah, for sure. So Paul and I, we started GearHead Tour together about this time last year, and honestly, it just started out as kind of an effort to more or less monetize our hobby. Like, how can we do what we want to do without it costing us so much damn money all the time? So
yep,
that's basically what it grew out of. So we spent even more money to start a YouTube channel than we were already spending. And
now you had a second hobby. It's cars and cameras now. So.
Yeah, one expensive hobby is not enough. So in the short term, let's make it even more expensive. So hopefully nothing is expensive in the future. But
that's awesome.
But yeah, so I mean that's what we did. Paul has been involved in the automotive industry and various facets since about the mid 90s, and myself the same, but only about the mid 2000s because I'm not an old dusty fart like he is. But we had made connections, and you get to know people through the industry and everything, so that's helped us a lot in getting started, and that we already have connections and friends and people that we could call on, but a lot of it has just been picking up the phone or jumping on the email and reaching out to people, and honestly we've been pretty surprised how many doors people have opened up to us just because we asked.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Folks really like talking about ourselves. You know what I mean? And like,
right,
especially car folks, because we're always getting the short end of the stick on anything. Well, Paul just jumped into the back, so let me bring him up, and we'll do the same thing with him.
Yeah, right.
What's up, dude?
Hey, welcome.
I feel like we're all buddies because I literally bother each one of you guys several times a week. Paul definitely. I know when Paul got on tonight, because he was like active 2 hours ago. There was like 17 messages from me. I know he's like, dude, shut up. I'm at work. Sorry, Paul Enginuity. Paul Ramey.
This is going to get confusing quick.
Get the Brady Bunch thing going on here.
That's right. So I was just asking Chase and Paul with Enginuity, kind of their story and why YouTube and how you got started and all that stuff. So why don't you give us a quick rundown, and then we'll get into the hard-hitting questions.
Is that me?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, like Chase said, we it was about a year ago. We were sitting around and just long ago, Chase and I had an idea to actually make a television show. We were going to produce a television show and then try to sell it to one of the channels, like Speed Vision or Motor Trend or something. But that is a really difficult path to follow. And, I had some history in the TV industry before, and that's a really tough thing to do. And it's also way more expensive to produce. It's a really tough thing to do. So one day last year, I think it was around March, I sent Chase a message and said, hey, would it be crazy if instead we just did our own thing and put some stuff on YouTube? And he was like, no, let's do that. It's a good idea. So it's like he said, it's a good way to like keep your hobby and make it tax deductible.
Yeah. Hey, that's the whole reason Narxoleptic Customs became a thing, because Steven had built a shop back at his old house and had spent like $30,000 in tools or something one year, and we were like, listen, you got to do something to get some of that back. So that's kind of when that all started. So, and then obviously to be famous, and the reason I like YouTube compared to like a network TV type setup is the time to the customer. Like the lag, there's no lag time. I mean, I can record something right now and put it out tonight if I want to edit it.
Yeah.
So that's a big plus. I know Paul with Enginuity, he usually records and then it's 6 or 7 months.
You're not.
It feels like that with a lot of our content.
That's okay too. So, all right, let's do like a round robin here. I want to hear what people's first cars were.
I guess I'll start. I had a Ford Ranger.
86 Ford F-150.
My first car was a 1970 Chevelle.
Dang, dude.
It was brand new. It was right off the showroom floor. That's how old he is.
I'm old enough that when I was a teenager, you could pick up my second car was a 67 RS Camaro, old Mustangs. Back then, you could pick up, it was a nice Chevelle. I think I picked it up for $1,200 maybe. And, which was a ton of money at the time,
Yep.
But had I known today, I would have bought every one I ever could, back in those days. But I remember passing on a Hemi Cuda because it was like $1,600.
But okay. So let's ask that question. What cars would you buy now that are cheap, that are gonna hold their value? I mean, like GT Mustangs. I mean, there's 70 million of those made every year. Camaros are the same way. Do you go for that one-offy type stuff that's like interesting?
It's so hard. I don't know how you choose today what's going to be valuable in the future. I mean, I think in the end, it has to have those things that usually make them valuable. Rarity, and people have to love it now. And that's the problem, is they're not keeping anything rare. Like, I think that new Corvette is amazing. But even so, there's, they don't make as many as say they make new Camaros, but there's just so many. I don't know how they'll become ever really, really valuable.
Yeah, it's kind of the best indicator for that sort of thing is it's like, well, what poster are kids putting on their walls right now? Because in 30 years, they're going to be able to buy that car.
Yep. Pokemon.
Yeah. So there's going to be, there's a lot of cars with Pokemon on the side of them that are going to be valuable one day. But I don't know. Do kids even do that? Do they sell posters anymore? I don't know. But.
They do, but I mean, I literally don't think any of the posters at Walmart have cars on them. I think they're all game, superhero type stuff, things like that.
Used to be Pamela Anderson and Dodge Vipers,
Yep.
Right.
So let's run through. Brian with Black Seed said his first car was a Kia Sportage. That's a total lie.
Sweet.
Maybe he was talking about that's going to be valuable in the future. We all know that's a lie as well. Magnum Machine Works says his was an 80 Jeep. And then Old Car Guy says Demons. Obviously, I mean, we go back to rarity. Hannah says an E36 M3.
Yeah.
Oh, stuff with Cletus, 1975 Nova 4-door, straight 6. Let's see. Project Honda Rod says that cheap C5 Vets will be where it's at, and you can get those. I mean, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 with 120,000 miles on them. That's a lot of car for that kind of money. Yeah. Black Seed's first car was a 57 Chevy.
Wow.
2-door car. He's had some really, really neat stuff. I just don't have the time to sit down with him and let him run through his list of 70 different cars he's had. Johnny Clyde said he's had a 97 Honda Civic. All right, so let's talk. I really want to talk about car stuff for a minute, and I want Paul with Enginuity to tell us about Becky. If y'all haven't seen his stuff, it's the car in the back that is freaking badass. I mean, the level of work. So he has a MIG welder that he sticks stuff together with while it's in there, and then he TIGs it all together. So he's just like super fancy and doing it all out of like a 87 square foot garage.
I've seen closets bigger than this.
Yeah, is that why you did such a small car?
Well, it's the only thing that fits in here. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm addicted to Subarus and Hondas and Fords, because it's the only thing that fits.
Was that or a Mini Cooper, right?
Yeah, and they're too crammed together. It's just I like to cut them up. So, but no, yeah. This is a 1985 CRX. It is the high efficiency edition. So it originally came with a 1.3 liter and a 5-speed. Take you. The little difference is there's a Subaru on the back of it.
Nice.
Don't mind my cockeyed fuel cell that's hanging out.
That's better for fueling.
There you go.
You don't have to run a sump that way.
There we go. That's my shit box. Working on the seating right now. That's the front end. I hadn't planned on doing any like tubular work to the car. It was supposed to be a like augment the unibody kind of a project, and then I found like a bunch of catastrophic rust structural areas of the car. So I ended up cutting it out. One thing led to another, and then there's just nothing left. It's just it's all tubes.
Yeah, it's 2x3 square frame, and then you just built. I mean, it's a great build, and the videography is great with the whole process too. It's like you weren't just putting a camera up and recording what you were doing. It was like you're really thinking about videos. That's what I like about your channel. But like that car is crazy town. Like you'll take that to shows, and it'll be a big hit with everybody.
Yeah. For
so.
Sure.
Subaru engine because of the center of gravity, maybe? I mean,
well, I'm a Subaru tragic. So, everybody loves to hate on the EJs. Actually, Vaughn and I have had some very spirited go back and forth because she's pulling the EJ out of hers. So LS stands for legit sucks, by the way, in case anyone's wondering.
No.
Shots fired.
Shots fired, right? So, anyway, I kid. But, yeah, no, I've always loved Subarus. I've always had this weird hankering for 80s Hondas. And this thing popped up for sale, and I didn't even know they made CRXs in 85, and I'd never seen the recessed headlight setup before, and I thought it looked cool. And I was kind of staring at the side of the car, and I was like, I think I can fit the engine in the back of that. And, yeah, so kind of like threw some stuff together. Brought the car over one night. Nappy Mer, who's in the comments, actually came over with me. We shoved the engine in the back, and we're like, this is totally going to fit. And then it just kind of spiraled from there. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks, Robert's Garage. I appreciate that for sure. If you are fresh into the chat, all super chats tonight are going to buy diapers for my little brother Steven, his baby that is due in 3 weeks. The diapers aren't for Steven, they're for the baby when it gets here. The way that came out was completely wrong. So where did Becky come from?
From Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yes.
Yep. All the jumps in the truck band. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That is perfect. Big Booty Judy. That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, let's move to some project cars of you guys down on the bottom, Paul Rainey and Chase. What do you guys have working on? We're going to see a Sawzall tonight on that super clean C4 Vet.
Not tonight, but yeah, we do have a C4 Corvette 93 that we initially had one set of plans for, and then partially due to you, those plans changed. We're not going to get too deep into that just yet. But
I'm a bad influence on people.
Tell me about it.
It's the fun that it brings. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Bad decisions are on the way later this year. So we're gonna have to get you to come out here when the chaos ensues.
I'm ready. I'll bring my Sawzall and fresh blades.
There you go. We're gonna need them.
All kinds of stuff. You need this
I think probably the biggest thing we're gonna have is adhesive issues.
Oh yeah.
Because on the C4s, a lot of that stuff is bonded. So
for now it is.
It
won't be when I'm done.
yeah. We're just gonna need like big torches and lots of beer, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. We'll just live stream the whole thing.
That's not a bad idea.
Drive it in with it as a really nice car, and then just like destroyed. That's awesome. Mechanuts is asking if a vet cart's coming. Daily Driving Hoopty says C4 vets are like crack.
They have a lot of potential.
Yeah, that is for sure. Crack doesn't have potential. It's bad for you, kids.
No, yeah, it's all downhill once you start with that.
Crack is whack.
Carcane is cool, but crack is whack, you know.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Paul, you got any project stuff? Paul Rainey, you got any project cars laying around?
I don't have a single project on it right now. I am completely carless. I'm delegated to borrowing my wife's car to go to work.
Nice.
My car was an Audi TT, and it bit the dust on me months ago. And my wife's been at home because she's been stuck at home teaching from our living room. And so I've been driving her car and putting off buying one since it's been winter and everything else. But now the spring's around, I'm really getting anxious to get out there and get something. And it's tough because I don't know what's on the horizon for me. I got to get out there and really find something. So I'm torn between buying something new, buying something old. It's tough. I live in a weird place. You can see I'm on my balcony. I don't have any garage. I park in a common parking garage, and it's tough to have anything really super nice because there's nowhere to store it. I was just parked in a common area. So if I get something really crazy, I have to buy a garage somewhere to keep it in. But so I don't know. Stay tuned, I guess I would say.
Yeah, right. Sounds like we got a C4 Corvette cart you can put in there, and people stay away from those.
They're just definitely afraid.
Yeah. I hope nothing from that car gets on me. That's what everybody well. And I mean, ours is jank looking. We still have the walls in. I don't know if y'all will be able to see it in here. No, we still have the walls in from when we went to Wichita in January. I can't drive around. I've got to get the oil feed done tonight, or the oil drain. We've got the feed done. Bought a scavenge pump the other day. Oil out of the turbo into the scavenge pump, back up into the valve cover. So I got to get that done tonight. So I need to keep drinking beers to get that done. Right? Is that what happened?
It increases productivity.
Yes, it's exactly right. It at least feels like you're working more. All right. So let's talk channels for a minute. I want to talk to you guys on the bottom because you guys have come up quickly through the ranks. You're monetized now, so congratulations.
Thank you.
The one biggest, I think, probably I would say not hurdle, but the struggle that some folks have, like me and Paul at Enginuity. A lot of guys are doing it on their own. They're solo guys. So how do you, obviously you guys knew each other, you were buddies, but how do you go, like who does your editing? Is it mainly one person does the editing, one person does all of the setup, and then obviously you guys have hosts. Like how do you set up shoots and camera stuff for them and all that?
So Paul does a lot. It basically does all of our editing. He's the equipment nerd. So he's the guy that he's figured out how to make the magic happen, so to speak. So that's definitely his his area of expertise. I handle all of the social media and all of that fun stuff. And we started together. We're the two, I guess, primary hosts or whatever. When we first started out, before we even started the channel, we got with Amanda. We had worked with her previously, so she was already, a friend of ours. She had worked for us before in a previous automotive business and everything, and brought her on board. And so she's been with us for a while. However, she lives 3 hours away. She lives in Nashville. And she's got her own, life going on and everything. Yep. So, of course, that sort of, that creates issues as far as scheduling and stuff, sometimes. And so one of those being the last trip we took out to Vegas to film, she wasn't going to be able to be out there for the whole time. So in Vegas, we actually hired Ashley. We didn't know her previously, but after a pretty extensive vetting process, we got hooked up with her, and she turned out to be great. She's awesome. But then now we're wanting to get into a more regular schedule where it's the same 3 people, as often as possible. So we knew Hannah, which was in the comments earlier. I don't know if she's still there or not. But we met Hannah through kind of our local community, through our local Cars and Coffee group. And obviously, if you've seen her intro video that we did a couple weeks ago, she's definitely a car chick, and she's got her niche that she's into, and she's younger than both Paul and I, especially Paul. But so it's all about demographics.
Yep.
So
it's kind of evolved, man. God dang, it's rough on us old guys, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah. I represent the Metamucil adult diaper crowd.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, geez, that's funny.
But it's kind of evolved, and I think it's been really interesting to see like what we originally thought GearHead Tour was going to be, and then just in this short amount of time, we started working on it a year ago, but we only launched it 6 or 7 months ago. So just in that short amount of time to kind of see what it's turning into, organically is really interesting.
I think it's really exciting that we've lucked into Hannah, because she represents like a better fit than Amanda and Ashley are both fantastic at interviewing people. Well, she's a pro. I mean, she worked for NASCAR, she worked for Coors Light. Fantastic at interviewing people, but not as much of a car nerd, And so having Hannah on board, she's really car, she's car nuts like us. So it's exciting, because I think people are gonna. I mean, she's only just been in one video now, so there's not a lot to gauge upon. But I think as we go forward, everybody's gonna see that she's like a really great addition to what we're doing.
Yeah. It's awesome. A genuine passion for cars there.
Yeah,
you can't script, you can't. I don't say fake it. The worst thing you do is try to fake it. But the genuine article comes across. And people responded. It's been one of our best performing videos, that we've ever posted. And I think that's because that personality and that passion comes across.
Hannah's the one with the Saab.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. That's a cool car.
Yeah,
they made Saabs with Subaru engines in them.
What's wrong with people?
Tried to convince her the other day to swap a Ferrari engine into it, but
she said bring it on, write that check.
Yeah, right. Well, she messaged us. She's like sending us links. She's like, look at this wrecked Ferrari 308. We should go in and get it. And we're like, well, could we engine swap the Saab with it? You know?
I mean, probably. You
Oh,
should
yeah.
cart the Ferrari.
Anything is possible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just how much
Ferrari
money?
cart. I like that.
With a Saab driveline.
Yeah. That'd be
Oh my God! Yeah,
That's
yeah.
got content written all over it.
Oh,
See,
dude.
listen, that's why I need to be really, really rich.
Yeah.
Because that would be a fun swap. You just
Italy would break off of Europe and just fall into the Mediterranean if you hacked the engine out of the Ferrari and put a Swedish motor in it, right? We're
That's
GearHead
awesome.
Tour. We're gonna K-swap this Ferrari.
Oh, that'd be even better. That'd be great.
Naturally aspirated Ferrari 308 K20.
Yeah, making 142 horsepower. That'd be great. All right, so
That's only
project
a little less than the 308 made. So.
probably Project Honda Rod says what are you doing for Project Becky for a muffler exhaust setup?
Well, initially I wanted to dump the exhaust out of the turbo, out of the hatch. But after consulting with some of my more intelligent friends who do like flow dynamics and stuff, they were like, you're going to destroy all the downforce on your wing. So yeah, go down instead. So that's what we're going to, it'll go south. Yeah.
So I think that's one thing we did miss a while ago is that's intended to be a time attack car.
Yes.
So lots of aero, lots of big wang gang and front splitters and all that cool. Are you going to do like a huge front splitter setup?
We have to. There's zero weight over the front end, so it's going to have an air suspension on it. So we'll have the air tank, compressor, and stuff up front. And the main reason for that choice was to have a dynamic suspension capability. So as the downforce increases, we can increase pressure to keep the car flat. It'll have a flat bottom with a rear diffuser, the wing, the whole nine. I was initially going to go with like a gooseneck style out of the rear cross member, but I think for just the sake of getting it done, I'm just going to mount it to where the bumper would go and just run a conventional chassis mount.
That's awesome.
That's going to be rad.
That thing's going to be crazy. So you are, you engine mounted, suspension in, it's down on its own wheels for the first time. And since you've cut the floor out, what's obviously everything's left to do, but I mean, what kind of timeline are you thinking? Middle of summer? What do you?
Boxer Fest is the big Subaru meet that's in PA. That's in September. So the goal is to have the car at least moving under its own power by then to piss everybody off. So
nice.
That's the goal.
You're gonna break people's minds with that thing come creeping through there. Whatever that Boxer sound is and creeping.
I'm
and
sure for the car show. I don't know if they're going to let me in. But I thought it'd be funny.
Yeah, you'll break the parking lot then for sure. They'll hate you, dude. It'll be great.
Oh, I can't wait. Absolutely. There's gonna be. I'm contacting everybody I know to send me GoPros to just have GoPros hidden all over the car for a reaction video. It's gonna be so good.
Yep, that's exactly right. Any big events you have planned other than that one? Because I mean, you've got like a 450 horsepower STI, right? That you drive all the time. That's
actually one of my buddy's cars that I built. That's his 2012. Mine's relegated to like 400-ish. I have an 04 OG STI, but it's also my daily beater. So I literally take the seats out of it and I'll do steel runs with it and undepot trips and shit.
That's awesome. Hey, you got to get that like 10-foot pipe in there somehow, right? You run it all the way through.
Dude, you can fit more tubing diagonal from the passenger footwell to the corner of the trunk. You can fit a 12-foot section. In my truck, I can only do an 8. So, yeah.
It totally makes sense.
It's perfect sense.
Yeah.
I've seen this game being played at Lowe's before with various vehicles.
Like where they're back there like... I love it at Walmart when they're trying to get that 62-inch in that Camry.
Yeah, right.
That ain't gonna work, bud.
That actually happened to me. I picked up an air conditioner when my daughter was first born. We didn't have central air, nothing in the house, and I went and picked up an air conditioner, and it was too big for the car. So I like disassembled it in the parking lot of Home Depot and like put the pieces in my car. And yeah, everyone was like staring, like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, just go, just leave me alone.
You're like, I just need the copper out of this thing.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Can I return this? That's funny. All right, so I'm trying to keep an eye on the note on the chat here too. Looks like everybody's talking to everybody, so that's fine. If they got questions, if you have questions for these guys, put question marks in front of your question and then at the end as well, so it'll stick out to my mind here. And then you guys have a show coming up that you're going to travel to. That's west of you, the Dragon Drive 2021. I'm excited about that. It's going to be a ton of fun. I hope you guys are ready. I hope it's kind of cold, so you have to struggle just a little bit with the cart. So,
and bring pee bottles. If you haven't seen his video, bring pee bottles. Because
Well,
once you're there, you can't get out. So.
I won't be taping them into this thing.
Paul always brings catheters, so you know.
Oh man, that's bad.
Once
That's not a
again,
bad idea, though.
diapers.
Oh yeah, diapers. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Hey,
That's our
speaking
new,
of,
that's our
yeah,
new
speak-
affiliate program. That's Paul's influencer plan for social media. He's gonna get on
nice.
get on with whatever the hell those things are called.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Depends.
Yeah, speaking of diapers, though, all the money in the super chat tonight goes to buy my little brother diapers for his baby. It's coming in 3 weeks, so that worked out well to drop that in there. You
Nice
see how
little segue there, you know.
segue, yeah. So what else we need to talk about? I really didn't do a ton. My daily job has been insane this week. So, typically I have a Cartuber or Cartubers of the week, and I didn't even have that because I didn't watch anybody's stuff all week except for solo B-roll of the folks I listed earlier. So what else we need to talk about? I feel like I should have done some research or something and actually put together podcast type questions, but I just didn't do it, guys. I was too busy stressing about work and beers.
I hear you. Absolutely.
So what other events you guys have for the year?
We've got Drag and Drive. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but we're coming to you for Drag and Drive. I know we've got Shift Sector airstrip attack that we're going to in Indianapolis. I can't remember the dates on that, but I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're gonna try to get Miss Hannah in the 200 mile an hour club on that one.
That's awesome.
I think we've got a lot of stuff that's just not
Gingerman Raceway.
Gingerman. That's Grid Life. Yeah, we're gonna try to go to Grid Life at Gingerman. We're gonna try to hit Import Alliance if we can.
SEMA,
of course, which we didn't get to do last year. Of course, SEMA's on there, and we're gonna try to actually head to that a little bit earlier. We want to try to get to Phoenix the week before, see if we can maybe collab with Destroyer down there. Kayla Rundle, I think, is also down there, and then we want to hit the Scottsdale Cars and Coffee because that looks absolutely insane.
Something like 1,000 or 2,000 cars or something go to that.
Yeah. And the week before SEMA, I'm sure it's absolutely nuts because everybody's getting ready to head west.
We are planning SEMA as well for the first time ever.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, we'll all definitely have to hook up out there. It's a good time.
Yeah, I've never been. We were going to go 2016, and then last minute stuff just come up. You know how it always goes. So this year we're driving out. We're not going to even attempt to fly. We're just going to get in the car and hammer down.
You're gonna never want to miss it after you go the first time. It's incredible.
I can only imagine.
Drink lots of water and ibuprofen load for about 4 days before you actually hit the show because it's like so crowded you can't even walk. You just waddle.
Yeah, it's hard on the knees. It's hard on
your knees and your hips are just tore up.
The SEMA shuffle.
We've actually referred to it as that, the SEMA shuffle. You're not walking, you're just shuffling.
Yep. And then 815 reminded me we are going to collab at Cletus and Cars Indy May 1st. I'm excited about that. Destroyer's asking when is SEMA. It's like the first
First
weekend.
weekend.
Always the first Tuesday of November.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it
So it's
runs through
exciting.
Friday.
Yep. Yeah, and then big party, you're like a cruise night Friday night, and then everybody just deuces, goes home.
Yeah, when they close the convention hall on Friday afternoon, there's like a big parade of all the cars rolling out, and
Yeah,
then
they call that
in the
SEMA
years,
Ignited.
yeah, so they roll out from there, and then in the years past, it's been in the parking lot back behind
Link.
where the link, yeah, and that parking lot is basically just like a giant cruise night for all the ridiculous SEMA cars.
Nice.
And it's pretty cool. And of course, that's just right there on the strip. So it's just kind of like the party keeps on rolling type thing.
It's
That's
such
awesome.
a weird dynamic to be out there at SEMA and show when you see these cars that get out on the road, because, you know, if you've been to car shows, we all have, right? And there's always a car that stands out at the show, right? This is a show where there are hundreds of cars that stand out. You know, you just look at them and they all look like they cost $1 million to build. They're
A lot of them do.
a lot of them do, yeah. They're incredible cars, and not only that, it's practically a car show just to go to every hotel and pull in and just see what's parked in front of the hotels and at the in their parking lots.
Yeah, like all of the celebrities that are in town for SEMA, you know, they've got a car that's, you know, at the such and such booth. Well, you know, they're coming into town for that, but they've got to bring one of their other cars. So that's what they're driving around. So just the strip and the hotels in general are just out of control the whole week. You know, it's really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm going to have to do that for sure. I don't know if you guys have seen the Project Adam Ant. We have the 70 MG midget with the 2.3 turbo. That's the plan to drive it to there. So we'll see.
Oh, cool.
It's either that or the old truck. We're not taking the cart. Hopefully it'll be given away by then. God dang.
Oh, yeah,
So
you can give it away?
Yeah, when the channel hits 1 million views, the cart gets given away to an Instagram follower. Yeah. That's the whole reason we built it, thinking it would but it went.
Yeah, well.
So like we've gained daily views, but it's like, come on, just chugga, you know.
That's all. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way it works.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk, like, why don't you guys drop some hints and tips and secrets that have helped you guys grow kind of to the level you're at now, and then what you think will help, obviously, as time goes on. Because with the channel that's, you know, technically 6 months old, it's I mean, you guys have done some stuff that's worked well.
I think personally the number one thing that's made us grow is Chase is like an absolute genius. Like, he's like a guru at figuring out how to get people there. If you're on the business side of YouTube, gaining subscribers early on like this, you know, it's interesting how little subscribers matter. You know, that's always, we always have these goals. Oh, I want this many subs and this many views and things. Subscribers are really not all that important early on. They don't give you a lot of boost early on. And so we gain a lot of our traction from external sources like Facebook. And it's extremely difficult. These platforms, they battle each other. And so Facebook doesn't want you sending people to YouTube. So they hammer your posts. If you link to YouTube, forget it. It's not going to get out there.
Yep.
We typically, Chase will make posts sometimes that get 5 million, 10 million. We have 18, 19 million reach on a post. But we put a post with a Facebook link and it'll get 50. You know, it's incredibly crushed by the other companies.
Yeah,
and
our typical stuff gets our stuff gets 500-600 views, let's say, in a couple days. You throw up a YouTube link and it's like 100. You know, and you're like, how does that even happen? And so let's talk Google ads for a second, because I tried that the other day and I was a complete failure on that. So I learned some stuff. I'm going to try different round 2, but you guys have done well with that in the past as well, right?
If we're using Google ads, we do have good results out of it. The trick to Google ads is find yourself one of your videos that performs well anyway, like one that gets subscribers. Look at the one that you're gaining a lot of subscribers from. Put that video out, you know, run an ad to it. But it all comes down to the targeting. You've got to find channels out there that are sort of like, you know, people watching this would like my channel, and just target very narrowly those people. And I don't know, we considered it a success if we get about anywhere over 2% click-through rate. And If
on
we
the
do
ads, on the
on
ads,
the ad,
not
yeah,
on
on
our
the ad.
video.
On a Google ad to a video, if we get a 2% or better click-through rate, and we probably average about 2.7% on the ads we run. We don't run very many of them, just a few. And if we get 2.7% click-through rate, we consider those pretty good, and they'll cost us about 3 cents. Sometimes, actually, the last couple months they've been running more like 4 cents.
Yep.
And but what we learned from that is a lot of those people, they come to our channel, they watch an additional video. They'll watch more than one video. And we see that our subscribers are coming from those videos that we are putting ads. And we put the ads out. A majority of our subscribers come from those ads. And
That's awesome.
but it's all about the target, because we've experimented. I've put videos out and I thought, oh, this is going to do great. And I even thought this channel is perfect. And you got nothing. So we'll put it out, and we don't run, we'll run $1 a day campaign and just let it run for a few days, and then look at the data and go, wow, it's terrible. Or you look at one, and like I said, if we get 2%, we're like, okay, maybe we can stick with this, and you just let it, run it for $1, a couple dollars a day, and actually get pretty good results from it.
And our content is it's varied, depending upon, different videos are about different kind of things. It might be an event, it might be about a car or whatever.
Yeah.
And initially we were targeting our ads on channels that had similar type content, whether it was car reviews or event coverage or whatever. But just recently we started learning about audience clustering. So we're starting to do some research on that, but it's basically going in and looking and seeing where, what channels and what videos you have people coming to that video specifically, because that already is in YouTube's algorithm. They recognize that as being similar. So if you turn around and then play to that audience with that video, then it just reinforces that, and it works in both directions for you and the person, whose video is already referring people to you. So it's it's a little thing, you learn and you experiment, you adjust, and you figure these things out. So
And then Paul, at Enginuity, you've grown, like you're at 470, right? 475, something like that. Subscribers.
Sure. Yeah, something like that.
I think it's something like that. I was looking earlier, getting the link. But I think when I started following you, were like 180 or something like that. So, I mean, I haven't been following a really long time. I know I binged every Becky video, and I have the bell on for you, so I can see the minute that stuff drops. And so, I mean, are there anything that's been working for you other than just hammering cool content?
The biggest thing, I actually have Paul Rainey to thank. There you go. He brought it up to me. He was like, "Your titles suck, dude." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. They do. I have no idea how to title this." And so I went back and I've been using TubeBuddy to kind of like figure out like what works and what doesn't, and just paying attention to the analytics of it. And that's actually made a huge difference, because more people are searching for mid-engine CRX than Becky front suspension. Surprise, right? Yep. So but it was definitely like a whole change of mindset of like, because I sat down and like now when I title stuff, it's like, if I were trying to find this, like how would I find it?
Right. What would you search?
Right.
Yeah, because I think we all fall into that. Like I can't tell you how often I want to put episode 2. On something. It's like people don't care. They're not searching episode 2. They're looking for, just like you said, mid-engine CRX. Which, by the way, that a white 1985 CRX, I spent probably a good 18 months of my teenage years delivering pizza in one of those. Oh. Thank you, Domino's.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's funny because, and I'll give my experience on titles. I thought, okay, we're going to blow up. Everybody's going to know what Project Elsie is, which was the 90 Land Cruiser we did the LS swap in. So everything was based on, I'm putting this in a playlist. Someone's going to be able to find it. Oh, man, I can't believe I found the coolest build on all of YouTube. I'm going to watch every vehicle on this playlist, or every video on this playlist, and it'll be numbered. So it's the same thing. And I think that's what a lot of new folks miss, is you're only thinking about, like you look at Cletus's channel. I mean, that dude's got 2 million followers or subs, so like he can put out, it doesn't matter what his tags are. It doesn't matter what his titles are. It doesn't matter what all that kind of stuff is. So one thing that's interesting to me is that once I've started watching so many small channels that are less than 5,000 subscribers, that's really what YouTube shows me now. A lot of those channels, a lot of that type video. And it's funny to see how people will put like 2 or 3 words as their title, but because of the content, YouTube knows to show it to me. So if a title is going to pop like front mid-engine CRX time attack build compared to, front suspension and Becky, that could be the difference in 100 views over 3 weeks or 500 views over 3 weeks, in my opinion.
And over the next 5 years, that's huge.
Yeah,
right. Those guys like you mentioned, Cletus McFarland or someone like Daily Driven Exotics or the Stradman, or these guys that have already millions of followers. They don't even need to put a title. They could just put question marks on there, and it wouldn't matter.
Yep.
We're in a level where we need people to find us, and YouTube is a search engine. It's not. We think of it as an entertainment area, like we go to watch videos, but it's not a video. It's not a video platform. Video's the delivery. What it is a search engine. How to bake a cake, how to wrench your car. And so once you get to that level, and the right way to do it is Elsie, right? You put it in there so people can go search that because they know you now. But before then, you have to play their game, and that is searching.
Yep.
Well, so like the Destroyer says in the comments there, Google reads your words as well. Absolutely.
Right.
Your tags, they scan your thumbnail, all of these things. And it's just about piling up all of the best practices to put as much, as many advantages in your column as possible, to pull all these people in, and then over time, views. But you just need every advantage you can get, man. Do all the best practices.
Let me ask you this. So what is your opinion on people or like, my face in the thumbnail?
Gotta have the face.
Because I don't have any.
You gotta have the face.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the powerful thing on YouTube is that you can connect with your audience. It's not like you're just an actor that's on a TV show or whatever, because the people can hop in the comments, or they can hop in your on your social media pages, and they can engage directly with you. So people become fans of you. They become attached to you, not necessarily, anything else. They may become fans of the build or whatever, but the personality is really what drives YouTube. So that's what they're really looking for. So, I mean, your thumbnail needs to be relevant, obviously, to whatever the video is. I mean, you've got to have that one-on-one engagement. That's a pretty hard rule for us on our thumbnails. It's got to have a face.
Yeah, but you guys have good-looking girls on your pages.
It doesn't hurt.
Hey, our worst performing thumbnail is.
I mean,
over there.
Let's be honest.
The worst one. And it's probably no surprise that some of the best performing thumbnails are the ones that have our female hostesses in the thumbs, because our audience is primarily male. They see that and they click on it, and maybe that's what brings them in. But we hope the content keeps them there. But it's
a lot of times it will. I mean, you guys' stuff is really good, and it's shot well and edited well, so that helps.
We're glad to hear you say that, because we watch things every time and think, oh God, this is awful.
You're always your harshest critic,
Yeah. I think everybody in here does that.
Yeah, sure.
That's awesome. Huh. God, now I've got to go back. Here's my dilemma, right? And I've said it in the small Facebook automotive YouTuber page that we're all a part of, that is secretive. For good reason. Y'all know my thoughts on that. I love how small it is. I love that we can all help.
Quality over quantity, man. Quality over quantity.
Definitely. It's a double-sided thing here, right? So I have a lot of videos to go through and change the thumbnail, so that takes a ton of time. But then at the same time, if those videos then start performing, now I have this backlog of videos that are starting to perform because I've now changed my thumbnails and titles and tags and descriptions and all that kind of stuff. So
I'll give you a very real example. It was probably a month ago. We had a video, and I think it's a fun video. I enjoyed it. It's a guy that we met, through our travels. He's in Nashville, Tennessee, and he's an automotive photographer. He works for a lot of magazines, and but his passion is shooting pictures of cars. And he works for a company. He does all their stuff. I mean, supercars, Paganis, and just everything you can imagine. The thumbnail, we produced a thumbnail because I had been reading about thumbnails. And so we tried something different, and I put it up, and it had a click-through rate of around it was averaging around 2.4%, which is pretty poor. And one day I decided, you know what, I'm just going to change this back to this format that we've been kind of using and see what happens. And I changed it. And the next day, literally the next day, the click-through rate was 12%. And so
that's crazy.
And it now didn't stay at 12%, but it did stay. Its average went way up, and it stayed up. And so these people that out there that talk, they do matter. These things like thumbnails and titles matter. And in the future, as we get to the point where we can do this, I think it will become important for everyone, especially if you have a lot of content, to start doing what we call split testing. You run your thumbnail for a while, and then you run another thumbnail, and you see which one did better, and then that's the one you go with. And then if you want, you can literally improve it by saying, okay, you have the same one, but just change the color of the text from red to blue, and which one of those performs better. And you can eventually narrow things down to where you figure out this is the formula. And
right.
So we're not to that point yet. TubeBuddy, like you mentioned, they have an A/B testing feature on the highest end of the TubeBuddy, and I think eventually we'll probably move into that higher version and start using those things because in the long term, all those little things add up.
Yeah. Well, and you guys have seen my post in that group I was talking about. The hard part is, like, I'm going back through some of my early videos, and like there's one line descriptions. There's 4 tags in the bottom. Like
right.
You just can't have that. You not
you
today.
Load them up.
Yep. I feel like there's how many more people are focused on YouTube today compared to what you think 5 years ago?
A billion.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
That have a channel that actually put out content today
Yeah.
compared to then.
I actually have YouTube content that I put out years ago. YouTube was relatively new, and we put some videos out there. And I mean, some of those have 40,000, 50,000, 100,000 views. When I didn't even know it. They were just sitting out there on my account, and I had no idea, because back then there wasn't much content, And so you put something up, people were going to find it. And had we known, had the foresight to just do it back then, we'd probably be making these calls from our yacht right now.
Yeah.
But,
Yep.
It's way harder now. It's like everything. You wait too long, you miss the heat. But I mean, YouTube's still very viable, and I think if you work at it hard, we can all be a success. It's just a matter of, are you willing to grind long enough until it happens?
Yeah.
Well, that's like they put out their YouTube put out their all of their stats for last year, and it was like the first time they had ever put out their stats. But they were everybody was just blown away by by the numbers, by the revenue, and the number of people that were becoming monetized and everything. And despite the lack of context, I mean, YouTube was pretty upfront about the fact that they were like, it was the most ridiculous year ever. And that's because, a lot of people were affected by the pandemic. Either they lost their jobs or they were underemployed. So they started doing that. And, just
or
huge.
they just had time.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of times where, during the heat of all of it. Hang on, let me go cut that off.
That was awesome.
That's funny.
That was like a Casey's Customs moment, if you guys watch this channel.
I enjoy watching some of your videos, Paul. They're put together pretty well, and it's a hard thing, to, especially when you don't. I don't know what your background is before, but when you sit down and you got to figure out yourself, how am I going to edit and put these things together? Yours go together really well.
Thank you. No, I had no idea. Like I did stuff in high school, but nothing like this.
Yeah.
It was just something that I always enjoyed doing it. But filming makes everything take like 3 times as long. Like, you're just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna tack this tube together. An hour later, you're like, well, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's exactly what happened with the solo B-roll stuff. I was telling Enginuity the other day, I was like, I wanted more shop content in there, but by the time I really kind of told the story of like going to the shop, then it was like, oh my God, I don't have enough time. And then coming back in, but I was in the shop 3.5 hours. You know, it was 1 o'clock when I finished editing the video. I should have got that in the shop, but it wouldn't have made the cut. So.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's the way we are usually when we get done filming something. We've had a car and we've done something with it, and then we're kind of like after the fact, we're like, oh, if we'd had more time, we could have done this, and this. You know, that's the way we are usually when we get done filming something. We've had a car and we've done something with it, and then we're kind of like after the fact, we're like, oh, if we'd had more time, we could have done this.
No idea what's happening.
What did you do?
I don't know. Hang on.
There's a glitch in the matrix.
Yep. Deja vu. Where's the black cat? Hang on. Crazy. What else, guys? Come on, give us some tips, give us some tricks here. If people are still watching, which I mean, there's some folks over here in the chat. We got 17 folks with us. There's folks wanting to learn. So it's really if people are out there and they are serious about growing their channel and they're not just here for the car content, message any of us on this page, and we'll talk about you. We'll talk to you about the Facebook group we were discussing.
Yeah,
there's a large Facebook page that is tied to that is awesome. I need to post over there more often. So,
yeah, those things are helpful, but it's getting harder. You know, we sort of we have a local guy that has a big channel. He has, what does he have, Chase? 300,000 subscribers.
Yeah, he's big.
And you know him. That in a couple of years. He's talked to us about the difference now and then from the past of how YouTube and Facebook just battle each other. So he doesn't even mention the word YouTube on any of his Facebook posts. He won't put links. He doesn't do anything because he feels like he gets more people going over because his posts reach out to more when he doesn't even mention. He just say, hey, I'm on that video channel, or whatever.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, he just completely leaves YouTube out of the mix. But they do. These companies battle each other, and it we all suffer because we're the ones that can't produce an audience, and it's tough. But those big bases on Facebook, if you can reach a lot of fans out there, it's good. And you have great ways of doing your it's a lot of footwork to go out and chase down people on Instagram or Reddit or places where people go. Early on when you're small, it can be a real big boost for your channel. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of footwork.
Well, and going back to the Instagram growth hack or whatever, it is all the time. It is all the time. And so if I've got 10 or 15 minutes, I can jump on and follow 6 or 8 people and in and out of their pages and feeds or whatever you call them on Instagram. But at the end of the day, you spent 2 hours doing that. Somebody in another Facebook page was like, you're completely wasting your time doing that formula. I'm like, man, are you kidding me? It's gotten me 300 subscribers,
Yeah.
And they're like,
it's a waste. If it works, it works. And you can't compare. You can never compare yourself to other channels and other people because you will have cases you'll sit and watch, and you'll see that there's something out there that occurs that gives them a boost. Maybe they're connected to other bigger YouTubers out there. They collaborate in some way. They get mentioned by someone for some reason, and those things can have huge consequences. And or they just have one video that reaches enough people. I can tell you this: in our recent history, back right at the end of the year, right before the new year, we had a post on Facebook that went pretty big, reached close to 20 million people. The post, and when that happened, you can look at our YouTube statistics and you can see a really big spike of people coming over. Now it was views. it did not translate into subscribers. You know, we did have some subscribers came.
There was definitely some, because Mike was messaging me like, "What are you doing? What's going on with your channel?" It was when that post was going viral, and
it was the post on Facebook that led it over there. And so you never know, those kind of things. Those are fluke. You never know. You hope everyone's going to be viral, but you never know. Just wait around for the next one.
God, where was it? So here's the thing about once you're monetized, for me, I'm like, okay, I'm monetized now. I don't get paid on new subs. New subs are good for consistent video watching, but I need to gather as many views as possible.
It's all
without
about
selling my soul to the devil and doing stuff like that. You know,
that's like Paul was talking about earlier. We kind of came to that realization that, I mean, besides the fact that you need 1,000 to become eligible for the the YPP, beyond that, early on, they don't mean a whole lot. Where they start to mean a whole lot is when you have enough subs and enough people that have clicked that little bell icon that get notified immediately when a video comes out. Because like right now, we have a video come out, and 100% of our people that have clicked the bell notification icon get notified, and it will end up, which is a few hundred, and then it translates into like 6 immediate views. That doesn't do a whole lot for you. But when you have 500,000 subscribers and you've got 10,000 people who click through on that bell in the first 5 minutes, that's a hell of a lot of velocity on a video. And that's how you end up getting those stupid amounts of views. So it's kind of one of those snowball of things, kind of like compounding interest in finance. You just have to, once you have enough, it's a big deal. But earning 2% on your $1,500 savings account's not a whole lot.
No, that's exactly right.
When you have 15 million, now you're working with something.
Right. Yeah, and that's how those channels. I don't know if you ever noticed. I'm on some of these big channels. I'm a fan of those, and I'll click, and a video might come on, and it's been out for 1 minute, and I'll click, and it'll see that it has 9,000 comments. And I'm like, how did 9,000 people even get here in that 1 minute?
And 7,300 of them have just commented first. No, you aren't.
That's when, I mean, not to put off anybody out there that's a subscriber out there. We love our subscribers. That's why we're making stuff, is to share with people. We don't mean in that way. Obviously, the subscribers are important, and if you can get a good base of subscribers that love your content and interact with it, that's valuable. Those people are valuable parts of your business. Because your real fans will be the ones that actually push your channel forward, going forward. Yep. But just as a sheer numbers thing, 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers don't really amount to a lot of push to a new video. It comes mostly from YouTube. I don't know if everyone knows this, but when you put out a video, YouTube will show it to a certain number of people, and based on how many people in that little group click on your thumbnail and watch the video, it will determine, is it going to show it to more people. And it's like a little batch, and if that second batch will be bigger than the first one, and if the second one performs in the same way, then it will show it to more people. Well, during that time frame, if you have a lot of subscribers, you're getting a lot of views automatically, and that's why those people that have big, huge channels, doesn't matter what they put out. They could put out them sitting in a chair eating an ice cream, and they're going to get 100,000 views in a day.
So here's a great point on that. Brian Late and our daughters go to the same gymnastics class. So every Thursday night, me and him hang out. We talk strategy, right? So Black Seed Original, sorry. We were talking last night. He was like, I was watching Watch JR Go, and the video was his trip to Wendy's and some store. He's like, man, he's like, what am I missing? He wasn't even driving anything. He was driving his F-250. But he's like, it wasn't even like working on cars. It was just like a lifestyle type setup. But I think you've got to build that. And so Watch JR Go always tells me you have to put out videos daily. Well, if he didn't work on the car, he's just going to throw that camera up and he's going to record himself driving to the store.
Chase and I do not subscribe to that. You got to put out a video constantly or every day, or according to Chase does a lot.
I know y'all don't. Y'all like, hey, we're gonna put out one a week, and y'all gonna like it or not.
We're one a week.
Oh,
And
and Enginuity too.
we would do more. We would do more if we had more time. We both have full-time jobs. I spent all day today making little children cry by pulling their teeth out. Chase probably did the same thing,
And he's a janitor, so I don't know why.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But we're not sure that YouTube really cares if you're putting out a video every day. It will matter that you are putting out more content, because every time you put out a piece of content, you make a new pathway for someone to find you. So that it probably does in the end help to have, a bigger schedule of putting things out. We focus more on trying to make sure that we put out a video that at least we would watch. There are some that we put out that I tell you, I wish they weren't out there, because, I look at them and go, oh, this is terrible, but they're at least acceptable. They're okay, in the world of YouTube. And so we do that. But if you put out something every day, you probably will catch more fish. But just keep the quality going. But a guy like JR Go, he has a lot of viewers, so he can just put something out and it's going to do, it's going to do something anyway.
Well,
but
and it's
part of that too, it being sort of that character, like Chase said, your audience wants to know about you. So your trip to Wendy's might be interesting to them.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. They've bought the Watch JR Go water and they're drinking it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Johnny Clyde said he's doing a daily challenge video for March. I don't know if you guys follow Johnny Clyde. He's hilarious. I love him. He does food reviews, a lot of fast food stuff. He's a big car guy. He was actually in our live feed a couple weeks ago with Black Seed, but you're going to see him around my channel a bunch. I'm going to get him in the seat of the old truck. We're going to drive it some, all that kind of stuff. So
right on. That's cool.
My wife would probably love it. My wife, every night I go in our bedroom, she's in there with her phone watching some girl named Tammy, eat Popeye's chicken and talk about it.
She'd love him. He's country like us, so yeah, or like me, anyways. I don't know if y'all are country. So let's see what else we got. He said watch time's gone up a ton already. What's awesome about his stuff is there's a lot of, like, I would say Northwest Arkansas people that are in the surrounding 2 or 3 hours that have kind of taken him and helped push his channel forward. So that's it's pretty neat to not have a car guy he's a car guy, but not a car channel being pushed by so many car folks. So
that's cool.
Sorry, I'm trying to get some back caught up here on the comments. Yeah, it's been hammering over here.
Destroyer made a good point a minute ago. He said he's talking about in the beginning is when you set the hook, like with bass fishing, and that was something that we actually consciously made the decision here recently after the book was a Crushing YouTube, I think it was, I read, and then also I'd been watching the Gymkhana Files, which I think is on Amazon. It's all about the guys that do the Hoonigan videos and Ken Block and all them. And there's actually, besides just being a cool little docu-series, they get into a lot into the creation of viral video content and everything. And that's one of the things. We completely have stopped calling the beginning of our videos, even just in our discussions amongst each other, intros. We've dropped that from our verbiage. And we've just started calling them the hook. We got to get the hook. What are we doing for the hook? Because that's the thing, man. You gotta get them right off the bat. And get them interested, you know what I'm saying? Besides just, hey, welcome to such and such today. That's boring. They don't care. What they want to see is, bam, something to really, keep them hooked. And then hopefully, that same thing is later in the video, so they're staying to see what.
In order to do that, what we decided we would try to do is we always, if we went to an event or something, we would shoot that, what we then called our intro. We would shoot it first. Hey, we're here, and this is what we're going to do. Now we're like, forget that. Let's do our thing. Then at the end, we can say, hey, you're not going to believe what you're going to see later in this video.
What was that moment?
Now we know what they're going to see.
Yeah.
And so we're doing it backwards. And that gives us, we hope, a little advantage of hooking them in to say, hey, you're going to want to watch this later, so stay tuned.
Yep. So what I've been doing is I'll grab like a part later in the, that like 5 or 8 seconds worth of shot. Right. And I put it in the front. Then my little thing that Destroyer made me, Destroyer 1320, for your intros and cool subscribe buttons. And then, into my regular, hey, it's Mike at Narxoleptic Customs, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, when you're editing, whatever that moment is you come across that you're like, that's money right there. That's your hook right there. You just take it to the front, you pop that clip in there, you do what you said, and then, you're off to the races,
it's funny going back and watching those first 150 videos where it's like 3 minutes of me telling them what they're going to see on the video. And then I go to the analytics and it's like, back to right to the work. So
yeah,
that's it's pretty bad.
And here's the thing: if you're doing it right, that should be the same thing forever and always. Like one day when you've got 15 million subscribers and you look at your videos from 6 months prior when you had 12 million subscribers, you should be disgusted with those videos and hate them because hopefully you're constantly improving. You know?
Yeah, that's been the goal. And like with the solo B-roll and really probably months before. Do you guys watch Casey's Customs, that channel at all?
I have not.
He's building like $1,000 rat rod truck. The air compressor, I was going to reference it when I came back because his heater turns on like that just at random times at the middle of the video. And he's, flips the hood on the truck or whatever. But his editor drops in like all kinds of, I don't know, like zoom in shots. And it's like just all the time, just pop, 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 changing, stuff all the time. And the more I watched of his videos, the more I was like, man, mine are so plain and boring. That I'm just not getting enough B-roll in. I'm not getting enough changes. People aren't sticking around because it's like, oh, wait, I want to see what he does next because that changed their focus,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like the screen will just go, like it'll scoot over for him, all kinds of stuff. So his editor's really good. It's a great channel, too. I mean, he's a huge car guy.
Check that out. Yeah, absolutely, man. You got to just assume that everyone has severe ADHD, and you just got to constantly keep them, stimulated with something, because it's just too easy. It's just a click away,
Yeah, and literally, I mean, they can be your video can be playing, and they can be scrolling other videos on the bottom, and you just click on something else that catches their eye. So, Paul at Enginuity, what do you think, dude?
I mean, that's actually something that I changed in my video style from when I first.
Nope. Oh, he gone.
Thanos.
He said
Thanos got him.
Hey, we made the cut. Woo, woo. Exciting. His phone just died. It said, screw you. You're out of here, bud. Maybe he'll come back in just a minute. So, I don't know. I feel like we've been on here a long time. We'll wait just a second, see if he comes back, and then I've got to get to work on this cart. Or are both of you guys coming?
Yep. We were hoping Hannah was going to get to come, but she's not going to be able to come. So you're just going to get
she's like, you're driving what? No, I'm not coming.
No, she was all about
on
it.
a vacation, I think, that week. So
yeah. She wanted to make it work, but she couldn't. So you're just going to get the two ugly guys.
That's awesome. Well, I hope it really does well for your channel too. It'll be the first time, like even our shootout that we do in September, that's now in October. I've never recorded any videos for it or anything because I don't have time. You know what I mean? I'm all day. He must have dropped off for real. Dang, I hate that for him. He was right in the middle of what I was going to say too. But so it'll be fun to have some other YouTubers. Do you guys follow Street Six Fan? He's going to be there. I think he's going to be there. There's Riggs Garage, who has a couple old trucks that's going to be there. They're growing channels. I wish I had known half of what I even think I know now 3 years ago when I really started hammering videos.
Yeah.
It would have helped our channel so much.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. By the way, send me a message with the names of the other YouTubers that are going to be there. I want to check them out in advance. We'll have to integrate all of that somehow.
Yeah. I mean, the cell signal there isn't very good. So it's hard to do live feeds for any more than just a couple seconds there. Hang on. He's back on now. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. The wind here keeps knocking our power out.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. So my
That's
bad.
crazy.
Should have plugged in. I didn't know what we were talking about. I was like, oh, shit, where's the power cord?
That's funny. I don't. So we were talking about, we were just getting into the drag and drive while we were waiting on you to hopefully come back. I left the screen up hoping it would pop back on. What were we talking about a minute ago? Paul, you remember, right?
He was talking about his. He had changed his.
The solo B-roll and the way you shoot stuff. Yeah.
I started making everything a lot faster paced to try to keep people engaged with. I was doing I do like a time lapse, but then it was like I was getting bored watching it, so I was like, screw this. So I was cutting the time lapse up, changing different things. And the other thing too is just even if I'm not like moving per se, like even if I'm just doing one thing on the bench, I'll stop every now and then, just move the camera somewhere else, or like, you know, position it somewhere else. And then as you're cutting that time lapse together, throwing things out, fading things out, swiping them, zooming in, that kind of thing, and just keeping it, trying to cut it. And then I think the one video I like blinded myself because it's just like flashing from the weld shots because it's just like cut. So it was like, but I thought it was cool. I was like, this is fun. So.
Yeah, you're putting a warning in the front for epilepsy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Have you seen some growth in like watch time with that? I mean, have you?
Oh yeah.
Are you? Okay, I was gonna say, because like me, I don't dig that deep. I feel bad. You guys are talking about click-through rates. I don't even know what any of my click-through rates on stuff is. We're throwing stuff at the wall. Come on, stick. God. And then when it's gonna stick, I'm gonna be like, I don't even know what we did.
Hey, if it works, it works. You know,
it ain't working yet. It's working okay, but no. It's funny. We'll have our third month in a row to get a check from YouTube. And the more you talk about like Facebook and Instagram and things like that, the more I'm like, why doesn't Google have a social media platform? Because it would just work so perfectly for me to share my YouTube videos over to.
Yeah. They tried, I think, with that Google, was it Google Plus or what? There was something they tried and it just kind of.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah.
They had some Google groups, or I remember it. It had like a little spider web of, show who you're connected to. It just didn't work.
Dang.
Facebook, it just already has the footprint.
Yeah. I mean, and hey, the reality is, I don't know how old Paul at Enginuity is, but I'll be 40 in 2 weeks from yesterday. So like, I'm in that group of we're on Facebook, bud, because that's where we were on,
Right.
8 years ago, 10 years ago.
I didn't actually have a Facebook until the YouTube thing because of you, Mike. You're actually the guy who did it because you were like, you got to get on this Facebook group. I was like, well, I need a Facebook in order to get on the Facebook group, I guess. So I was like, because I legitimately despise social media, which
It's interesting.
I'm so old that I was actually on Facebook when it was called the Facebook.
Oh, jeez.
That's going way back.
Man,
Wow.
where did MySpace go? Bring that back.
Yeah, right. They tried to at one point in the mid 2000s, still didn't work, or mid 2010s, I guess, still didn't work. Well, cool. All right, guys, I got to jump off here. Y'all can do all your own stuff. I got to get to work on this cart, or y'all gonna be cruising around, and it won't be nearly as cool. So I really appreciate both you guys, all three of y'all, like everybody hanging out here, and all the messages I've been back and forth. You guys have been not like, leave me alone. So appreciate that as well. I'm excited. I actually have sent the Facebook group to 2 people just in the messages here that have messaged. So that's exciting. Hopefully we'll get some new folks in there that'll, I don't know, help grow it all and all that kind of stuff. So thanks everybody that has donated. My brother's diapers for the baby are definitely going to help. You know how that goes. Everybody I think in here has kids and knows what buying diapers are like. So just nonstop for several years. So appreciate that, all the donations. I'll tally that up and I'll make a post in the bottom and on our Facebook and Instagram. I really have been neglecting our Facebook a lot just since the Instagram push for the last 3 months. So I got to get back on the Facebook, all that stuff. So, all right, guys, thank you very much. Really appreciate you guys standing around and talking to me for an hour now. We've been on more than an hour.
It was awesome.
Right on. Man.
Yep.
Thanks for having me.
See you guys.
All right.
Hey, thanks.
Take care.
Yep. Bye. All right, guys. Thanks a bunch. I really do appreciate you sticking around and watching an hour and a half with us. This is one of our longest live feeds yet. I just feel like we were getting some really, really good content for you guys. A lot of channel growth, I hope, comes to everyone that has been over here in the chat. It's over here in the chat. I hope you guys have enjoyed what you've seen. If you do, we have a brainstorm sessions. We have 5 episodes out right now that kind of drops tips and hints, as well as all that with Destroyer 1320 and Black Seed Originals. All right, I'm out of here. I got to get to work on this thing. We got to get that turbo hooked up. So see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.